Let's talk about the biggest thing. Obviously, Dennis Schroeder fumbling the bag, which led to the Russell Westbrook trade. What do y'all think about like everybody the Lakers got? Mainly Russell Westbrook.
It's mainly Russell Westbrook, yeah. Because honestly, I don't watch hoops anymore, so I don't know how good what's his name, Trevor Ariza and all that sort of or
How old is Trevor Ariza, man?
he's got to
35, I
be
think?
35. Yeah,
I don't know what he's got left, man.
Man,
neither do I, dude. Because I mean, yes, you do get one of the best guards of all time. Like that kind of that role player shit hurt. I mean, they lost what? They lost Alex Caruso too, right?
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and Morris.
Yeah, they did.
Dude, that's
No,
that hurts,
I
bro.
feel like they lost someone else too. Forget these no-name guys, but there's
Kyle
someone else
Kuzma,
that
but he's a
Oh,
bitch.
whoa,
Kuzma garbage, bro.
whoa. We just
Kyle
it's
maybe that
Kuzma
was actually an
Basura.
improvement.
Jesus. God damn.
Their offensive ranking went up plus 5 points as soon as they traded his ass.
That's a mess, bro.
Oh, dude,
Down on that trade.
I thought he was a solid player.
Nah, bro, he basura.
All right, bro, but watch him go to the Wizards like he did and start balling out.
And do what? Average get 6 points one game and then 22 like the next. Like that dude is so inconsistent, man.
Hey, I'm just gonna say it like this: I ain't drafting him on a fantasy team if I was playing.
Yeah, that dude is basura, bro. Like I remember one time, I forgot who it was. It was on NBA TNT, and some dude got 2 points. And Barkley was kind of like, "Yo, I played just as hard as he did. He only got 2 points. What do you think?" Or something like. I'm ruining it, man. But it's like Kyle Kuzma. There are some games where it's like he does absolutely nothing. Like on defense, he's horrible, and then he'll give you like 6 points, and you're like, what did he actually contribute?
But yeah, you have to understand, he's not like the typical player that plays with LeBron, where he just needs you to play defense and shoot or cut, or I mean, mainly just defense and shoot.
Bro, he garbage.
All right, but okay, okay. I know how you. I'm guessing you feel the same way.
You mean about Kuzma?
Yeah, about Kuzma.
Yeah, I think the management did a bang up job by dropping his. But
okay, so
that should have been done early.
I kind of feel like it would have been nice to have like a young player like him around with the team they have right now. But regardless, actually, before Russell Westbrook, how about my boy Carmelo Anthony going to the Lakers? Oh, I didn't like those. I didn't like them. What? It's a good pickup. Get 10.
Hey man,
I'll wait till y'all give y'all takes.
If I was Carmelo Anthony, I would be very happy with getting another chance at going deep and possibly going deep into the playoffs. But as a Laker fan, I mean, what can you expect out of him, man? Maybe 11, 12 points a game.
I mean, but at any given moment, he can go for 20, maybe 30.
Yeah, I mean that's what he was doing on Portland. Yeah. I mean,
he can go off any game because again, he's a shooter at this point. So he's been shooting better and better since he was with Portland. So I mean, he can go. Like, it's always nice to have like an X factor that you can get an unexpected boost from too. So
yeah, I mean,
I don't.
Oh, go ahead.
It's not a bad pick. Oh no, I was just gonna say it's not a bad pickup. I mean, it's a decent guy to have on your bench, but I don't know if he's gonna move the needle by much for them. Like I'm 50-50 on that one. It's not a horrible pickup, but I don't know if it's gonna change their team by that much.
Yeah, I mean overall I like it. He's just gonna be a dude that comes out in spurts. I mean, and that's what they need. Like with everybody being able to dish it out. Like what was he last year? He hit 40% from 3 last year.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken.
No, you're right.
So if he gives them like anywhere between 12 to 16 points a game, shooting 40% from 3, that's a plus. I mean, it's a million times better than Dennis Schroeder. So off rip, that's like it's an improvement.
R.I.P. to my guy Dennis Schroeder though.
Man, bro,
where is Schroeder going?
Celtics,
Boston on a 1-year deal for like was it like $5 million or something?
$5.9 million. Hey, don't laugh at
me. Got to be the biggest loser.
Hey,
that hurts, bro.
that's tough.
Oh, that hurts.
I mean, that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you try to negotiate too high, and then you end up losing your market value, I guess.
Yo, but someone had to let him know, bro. Because what was it? Was it 84? It was
84
4 year
year, 84.
84.
Yeah.
Bro, who else is making 20 something like mid 20s in the NBA to compare?
That's a good question.
Because I know Chris Paul's making about 30. Jokic is making right around 28, 29. Who's that? Damn.
Jamal Murray?
I don't know about Jamal Murray. Devin Booker, he's making about 27, 28. So he was asking for just a couple mil less than like, I guess the elite players are making. And that dude's always been a bench player. So it's almost like he didn't listen to any friends of his camp. Because I know there were friends in his camp that were like, "Fam, you're good, but come on, man, this is a great contract. Like you're not gonna see a Chris Paul contract because you're not Chris Paul. Like just take this contract, dude."
Yeah, but I mean that's always the thing. You always want to it's natural to always want to negotiate for more. So
but bro.
What? How many times did he consistently prove that he could, dominate?
I mean, offensive
on the games.
Offensively,
on games when LeBron and AD were weak, did he come in and bust out, like carry the team or I don't recall.
Yeah, I mean I don't know.
Yeah.
Offensively, I do think that he proved his worth offensively, but then again, I remember a lot of times where they couldn't put Dennis Schroeder on the other point guard. They'd have to give Alex Caruso that assignment because he would just let them get by him every time. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like the Lakers losing Caruso is more vital
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
and I think they lost him for not. I mean, I don't think did the Bulls really give him like an amazing deal.
I think they gave him a nice chunk of change, like 37 or 47 million. I think maybe 3 years or something like that. So it was more than the Lakers could have handled, to be honest, unless they didn't sign Dennis Schroeder or Russell Westbrook. But okay, but that leads to the big honcho, Brody, Agent Zero. You know what I'm saying? We had a big three to match the Brooklyn Nets big three. You know what I'm saying? Fahzo's about to lose a bet with me. I'm about to get my 300, bank it, eat. You know what I'm saying? Ethereum. It's over.
I mean, I think you've already misstepped by saying you have a top three that can match
Brooklyn.
The Brooklyn top three is actually in their prime, man.
Okay, but here's the difference.
And healthy, and they improved their team.
Bro, you said healthy? They played like 8 games together all last season.
No, I'm saying for this season though.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, both teams.
KD single-handedly almost kicked out Giannis's team, right?
Yeah, I mean, almost.
Didn't it come down to a game 7 or a game 6 or something?
Yeah, it did. Seven.
Yeah, it did.
Last shot.
So now imagine now if he just had, if Harden was not hobbling around and actually played.
And they had Kyrie
in that game.
Well, first of all, I'm going to have to see a solid full-on playoffs from Harden before I start saying shit like that. Because, I've seen 8 full years with the Rockets, bro. And I've seen playoff runs with the Rockets, and it's always disappointing because, I don't know, dude buckles, man. Dude just buckles. But maybe things will change if he's not the primary. So maybe it'll change since KD is going to be primary guy.
No, you're right. Historically, he's been disappointing, but I wouldn't call the two big threes the same because, as Phil has already said, you've got Always Dressed, you've got
Are y'all really calling him that?
Old man LeBron, who's playing less games every season. Then you have Brody. So it's like I mean, it's a big three, but it's not the same as a big three in Brooklyn.
Now, I will say this with Kyrie. Do you think he's going to come back same type of mentality he did in the first half of the season where he was just kind of, not really into basketball?
It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say what you're going to get out of him mentally.
Yeah, man. He may be, basketball is a job at the end of the day. And everybody that does something for so many years, at some point you get fed up with it. You just don't want to do it anymore. I don't know, man. It just seems like the dude is always like on walking that line of, nah, I'm gonna retire early type shit.
Yeah, he's kind of a random variable. He could just wake up and just decide, you know what, I don't really want this as much as you guys do. So
Back to your point though, about which big three is better. I think the Brooklyn Nets big three is more talented, but I think the Lakers big three actually complement themselves more than people give them credit for. And I already know Westbrook can't shoot, all that kind of stuff. People say that all the time. Okay, I get it. But at the same time, they each kind of bring something different to the team. Whereas the Brooklyn Nets big three, they're just all, if you think about it, in essence, they're all just pure scorers at the end of the day. They're just really all scorers.
It's true. Yeah, Anthony Davis and LeBron, complement each other's games, and then depending on how, Westbrook comes in and does his thing,
right,
that's another compliment versus just being all really talented scorers,
right,
like all-time great scorers.
Yeah, and I think it's important like that they all play different positions from like they're kind of spread out where like what I'm saying, it's like center, small forward, point guard. So you got like they're not all in the same, just like, oh, let's just score from the perimeter. Like, you're not going to see Kyrie or James Harden posting up like that. Sometimes you'll see KD, but most of the time you won't. So the Lakers' big three is not as talented, but complement each other more and are more like versatile in terms of what they will be bringing to the team on the court.
Yeah, definitely the versatile. You're right. The different positions, versatility is good, but I feel like at least Brooklyn has a season. Kind of, okay, they've played it together longer, right? Than these. I mean, Brody's coming in fresh, so we don't even know if they have a game plan that will work for all three of them. Yeah. Whereas Brooklyn at least have a couple more games under their belt, and they literally would have. I think they would have won the championship. If they won that game 7, they would have won the championship, and they didn't have their big three. So if they can do that with half of their big three, or less than half of their big three, when they have their big three, then it's not. I mean, they're gonna just wipe out any opponent.
And I don't
offensively, even with their whack defense.
No,
they have improved.
I agree. I completely agree with what you're saying. And my only thing is, you could kind of say the same thing for the Lakers though too, because it's like LeBron was playing hurt, AD was playing, or however Phil says it, always dressed, whatever. AD was always playing hurt. So like,
how far did they get though?
They got past the play-in tournament and they lost in the first round. But what I'm saying is, number one, they lost to the champion of the Western Conference Final. Number two, they were both playing hurt. So it's just kind of like you both teams faced a lot of.
If they had lost to the champions, that would be something.
I mean, what did the finals go to Game 7? I don't remember. It went to like 6 or something, right?
No, I went to 6.
Yeah, they lost. They won the first 2, and then the Suns were I don't know, deflated.
And 2 things. First of all, the point guard or whatever they call him, he's good, but he's not that guy.
You're not that guy, Kyle. You're not that guy.
He's not that guy. And then second, I swear to God, if they do the play-in tournament this year, it is just absolute ass cheeks. It defeats the purpose of having an 82-game season.
Okay. Go more in on that, because I don't necessarily think that's the case. Because when you have a bunch of players resting the last 3-4 weeks of the season, because their seeding is already solidified, whereas the play-in tournament causes a little bit of chaos towards the end. Everybody's like, "Damn it, I have to get the right seed. I have to make sure I'm not 6 or not 7."
Dude,
or 8.
if the top teams can rest their players and still make the playoffs, that means the rest of the team suck that much that they don't deserve to be in the playoffs.
I mean, I guess.
Bro, if we're in a race and I just start slowing down to 60% of my speed and I still win easily, we shouldn't have been in the same race together. Like, because if I'm a 7th seed or an 8th seed and I'm a barely above average team and I'm struggling to get every victory, and I just win, I'm 2 games ahead of the 9th seed, or if I'm the 7th seed, I'm like a game and a half above the 8th seed. That means over the course of an entire season, I am 1.5 game better than you. Mm-hmm. I earned that victory through whether it's through injuries or through whatever it may be. I earned that victory, and now I got to do a play-in tournament.
Okay, look,
where I cannot make the playoffs.
So, everything you said is right, but what if your team's been going through injuries? Instead of having teams tank, teams are teams are like, maybe I can get into the playoffs, maybe I can slide in. You know what I'm saying? So like it stops.
Injuries are part of the game.
No, injuries are part of the game, but it helps teams that are dealing with injuries, and it stops tanking at the same time because teams are actually like, oh, I still have something to play for, rather than just like fighting for who gets the last seed in the conference.
Nah, man, that shit is ass cheeks, bro.
Did the play-in style it didn't change anything, right? Didn't all the top seeds beat them anyways?
Yeah. The play-in, for whatever they want to claim, the real reason for the play-in was to make up for financial losses from loss of games through TV right deals and all that other sort of shit. So they're like, hey, we got extra games.
I forgot. I forgot that was like the major reason why it was pushing in the first place.
Yeah, that's the primary reason, dude. They found a way to be like, hey, we can still make up some of the money that we lost by not having as many games this season.
Right.
So that's why I said for a shortened season, whatever, I guess I could understand it. People need to make money, all that sort of shit. But for a full season, if you play a full season through the course of, hundreds of years of team sports, going back to the Roman days, look, if you got injured, you got your head chopped off, whatever, dude, that's an L. You just got to take that L. And yeah, playing a full season, that's enough. That warrants, that's your entry into the off season or your entry into the playoffs, and keep that easy. These fools just asking for more money and trying to stretch out the season. So where it's like the NBA off season is really only going to be like a month and a half.
Well then, then it's temporary. Then they'll do it for one more season once they feel like they've recouped enough of their, earn their.
Oh no! They would never reduce the amount of money they're making, man. Once that so-called recouping period is over, they're just gonna keep that as a bonus.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. I mean, once these places figured out they can charge you an extra $1 for guac, dude, you ever had guac free ever again?
Bro.
Ever?
Oh my God. No. It's just when you think about it, like I don't know. Let's just use Chipotle as example. They charge like, I think, $1.50 for, I guess, a scoop of guac, right?
Bro, it used to be 50 cents.
No, but it's not. Bro, it's not even about that. It's not even about that. Just think about like the $1.50, right? Or let's just say $1 for the amount of they just buy that shit in bulk, and they charge you for a single scoop when one of them costs like maybe less than that itself. On an individual basis, when you're selling it to one customer, it's like, oh, you made a little profit. But when you do that hundreds of maybe and thousands of times over days, and like, bro, the profit just from their guac is ridiculous. Just from the guac, forget like the actual food.
Bro, that is, whoever came up with the idea to charge for guac is that person is a genius. Whoever they are, they made their companies billions of dollars. Shit.
It's like when you're on the airplane, they turn up the AC so high, and then they're like, "You want a blanket? Okay, that's $10."
Yo. Yo, that is hilarious. To finish up on the Lakers, just to name off some people I'm seeing here: Malik Monk, Kent Bazemore, Dwight Howard, Wayne Ellington, Trevor Ariza, Kendrick Nunn. What do you think about, like, just in general what they ended up signing? Too young, too old, too inexperienced, mixed bag.
I'll let Phil go first on it.
Man, to be honest, dude, I don't really like the team overall. Okay. Like, I love Westbrook, but like, again, Montrez, Pope, Markieff, and Alex Caruso.
Yeah, solid role players.
These are solid role players that like, help you win, in the playoffs type stuff. Like, and so dude, in all honesty, it really is those four versus what's Carmelo Anthony and Brody gonna do for you. I mean, it sounds disrespectful to all the other players, but that's what it is. Those two versus the four that they lost. And I notice I didn't include Kyle Basura Kuzma because he's garbage.
Oh my God, bro! Yeah, man.
Oh, garbage, bro.
Everybody just hating on that man.
Oh, garbage.
Dude. All right, Fahzo, what do you think?
He looks like a reject from, like, one of Will Smith's kids. He looks like a Will Smith kid reject. Like, he wasn't cool enough to be Jaden. Like, he's not cool enough to hang out with Jaden.
Oh my God.
He's trash, bro. He's trash.
Hey,
I ain't hooped in I ain't hooped in so many years, dude. After 2 months, I could beat him in like horse.
Hey,
not 2 months. In a week. Sorry, in a week, bro. I'll beat him in a game of horse.
I might DM him this on IG, bro. I might tag him.
Go ahead, do it, man. He's garbage, bro. I know he's gonna respond too because he's sensitive as fuck, like,
bro.
Like KD.
Oh my god, bro. All right, Fahzo, just say
garbage.
I don't know. I just feel like they ended up giving away a lot of good utility players that, like Phil was saying, when you get into the playoffs, you're going to need these guys on the bench, whether it's Caruso, Schroeder, or they gave up Drummond too, right?
No, he was a free agent.
Oh, yeah,
and he just left.
I forgot.
No. Yeah, they let him go.
I mean, he did. I don't think he played too many games, but he was the kind of player who might give you a double-double, get some rebounds. So, giving away all those guys to get Brody it's risky. It might pay off. I mean, like, help them get deeper in the playoffs, but it's not gonna get them to the championship.
Okay.
In my book. So
okay.
I think it was just a question of they didn't have that many cards to play, right? Because they already. I mean, I don't know who else they would have. Who else was a free agent that was available that could have taken them to the finals?
No, and that's my point, because they didn't even plan on getting Westbrook the entire. That wasn't their plan. But when Dennis Schroeder wouldn't accept his contract, they're like, all right, we got to try to figure out something else, and that's what opened the door to that. There was, and like you said, there wasn't many available people that were wanting to come to the Lakers and stuff like that to play point guard for possibly less than they would get somewhere else. So Westbrook was kind of their only solid option.
Yeah, it's like a good trade, but a bad trade too. It's I don't know how to describe it.
The one thing I did
kind of like based on the cards they were dealt.
Yeah,
I think it's a decent shot.
Yeah. The one thing I want to disagree though is that you said that it's super important, their bench and all that kind of stuff. Let's be real. In the playoffs, most teams only play like about 8 players. Like, you're not going super deep in your bench. Players like KD and like the superstars, they're typically going to play almost, if not the entire game. So in the playoffs, I don't really know how much you don't have, as deep a bench as these guys. These guys won't even use their entire bench like that. You know what I'm saying? So
what was the original? Because I know originally they weren't going after Brody. They were going after Buddy Hield originally. So if they got him, what was the trade? Because they wouldn't have lost all those role players.
I think they would have. It basically would have been half, because from what I read, what was the guy's name? Buddy Hield. His contract was about half of Westbrook's. It was like 24, 25, something like that. So they basically would have got him and kept like half of their role players, possibly Caruso, possibly somebody else, and it would have went like that.
I'm not gonna lie, for a championship roster put together, assuming they got rid of Schroeder and a couple of the others, but ended up keeping Drummond and someone like Alex Caruso, but I don't know, like. Assuming they didn't lose half their role players that they did,
right?
They added Buddy Hield. Right. I think that, me personally, I think that seen on paper, it looks better to go further in the playoffs than if you had the current roster right now. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I definitely can see that. I can see that. Next, I want to just quickly just jump right to the next LA team, because that the thing going on there is just weird. Like, about Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi Leonard re-signed with them. How much did he re-sign for? He signed for a 4-year extension worth $176.3 million with the Clippers again. But he was injured at the end of last season, so he's not going to play probably for majority of this year or at all. So. And I even heard Stephen A. Smith say something about, like, he was talking about, like, honestly, if he was the Clippers, they probably wouldn't re-sign him. Like, they would probably just sign him, maybe trade him, do something, because they're like, he's only played in like 40% of his games. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't communicate, like, all that kind of stuff. So what do you think about them getting Kawhi back and trading away Patrick Beverley?
First of all, fuck Patrick Beverley.
Oh my! Why?
Second. Yo, because dude, I like aggressive defensive players, but that man is extra, bro. Like he's just, man, he's extra, bro. I don't know how else to say it, but he's extra. But positive note, shout out to PG, who had a pretty good playoff run, and
True.
The pandemic comments, that went away. But I agree with some of the sentiment of assuming all the other injuries kind of happened, like everybody else got injured the way they did, but Kawhi didn't. I do think they were favored to beat Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Or they would have had a better chance than Phoenix.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So in an alternate world where Kawhi, everything else is fucked up the way it was, but Kawhi is healthy, there's a chance they do win the ring last year. And I wonder how that changes perspective on things going into the offseason and who gets moved or whatever. So again, last year was a season of depending on how you got injured, you made it to the finals. But yeah, you're right. I agree with everything that was said. Dude misses a lot of games for whether it's injury or to prevent injuries from happening. And bro, you just can't have your superstars do that shit, man. Not while they're still. Wait, how old is he, dude? He's got to be late 20s, early 30s, 31. How many years has he been in the league? I don't even know.
Hold on, let me check. Kawhi Leonard.
He can't be older than 32.
He's 30.
Can't be.
He's 30.
Yeah.
He was drafted in 2011.
Bro, so all the jokes that we make about always dressed has to apply to Kawhi as well. I think it just doesn't because he keeps quiet and he doesn't respond whether the comments are negative or positive. So he gets away with shit because people make up their own stories.
Right.
But yeah, bro, I agree. You can't be making all that kind of money and still only play 60-70% of the games.
They're just they're agreeing that they're probably not going to be able to get a player of his caliber anytime soon.
Yeah, I think that's.
Is there any big time free agent that's going to be free next season? I don't know. Someone of his stature.
I think it's exactly actually what you said. Now that I think about it, it's not that they really want to keep him, but they looked at their options and they didn't have any options on that level, so they said we might as well keep him. Yeah,
and I think a couple teams did that this season where they just ended up they just pick their top player and sign him for a couple more years.
Yeah.
It's like the safe thing to do.
They also traded the Clippers. They also traded away Patrick Beverley and Rajon Rondo, and they got back I don't know. Some of this was through trade, some of this was through signing, but they ended up getting back Eric Bledsoe to fill in that point guard role. So, and they re-signed Reggie Jackson. So you lose those two, I guess, smaller sized point guards in Patrick and Rajon, and you get Eric Bledsoe and Reggie Jackson.
I kind of like that because I know you get younger.
Yeah, that's true.
Bledsoe's got like early 31, and I know Beverly and them has got to be like mid 30, 35, 36 by now. Something like that. So, I mean, I guess you get younger, you get better offensively, and at this point, you really don't lose all that much defensively.
True.
Because I think at this point in his career, I mean, he's still a really good defensive player, but it's more name than it is on talent than it was a few years ago, where it was just purely based on talent and being a pest. Now he's doing some extra Bush League bullshit. I don't know. I'm indifferent towards it. I don't know how y'all feel. I'm kind of indifferent towards the Clippers because I guess primarily because I don't really expect the Clippers to do anything past maybe getting second round, maybe making it to the conference finals.
Mm-hmm.
They're this offseason for them just is not exciting at all.
No.
Yeah, I think they just found themselves kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and I'm not excited to see them next season.
Nah, dude, watching their games, it's not entertaining to watch. I don't know, just me. It's like it's just like when they're on TV, it's like it didn't matter. Like their games against Dallas was cool, like the two series that they had in the last couple of years. But if it was, Clippers versus anyone else, I was never interested. Like it never piqued my interest at all.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. What do you think, Ben?
For the Clippers?
Yeah.
We have no other options, so obviously re-sign Kawhi. The 2 point guards they basically swapped, I guess, are better offensively. So, but I mean, I don't really watch. Like the main games I watch are the Lakers, obviously Brooklyn, Warriors, even though they were kind of on and off. But I don't know. If they stay healthy, like Phil said earlier, if they stay healthy, the Clippers have a chance of still, winning the entire thing. But that's a big if, especially when you have Kawhi playing like 40%.
Yeah, I don't. I put them in the same category of Dallas. Dallas had a very uninspired offseason, and I don't really expect them to do anything. So it's like when you don't expect a team to do anything, like you don't expect them to actually have a legit chance of winning, assuming everyone's healthy, and they didn't try to improve, you lose that interest.
Right.
At least for me.
Right. Yeah, and Dallas, I don't know what the issues in Dallas, but we're gonna look at three more teams, free agencies, two and a half really. But next one, Chicago Bulls.
Oh, in relation to that, but this is actually not in relation. I was trying to look up some stats from last season or whatever on Basketball Reference.
Yeah.
But then Google sent me a link, or like how Google, when you do a Google search, it throws you additional things. Hey, you may be interested in this shit from TMZ. Kyle Kuzma and Winnie Harlow reportedly broke up after Kuz was traded from the Lakers.
Dang.
So he's even getting dumped after he leaves LA, man.
Bro, why are you trying to?
Even she knew he was basura. he's
Wait.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, Google. Google's listening.
That's dang, Winnie Harlow. That's tough.
Google's listening, bro. It knows exactly what I was interested in knowing, even though I didn't care about knowing it.
Oh man, the Chicago Bulls, they had some really interesting signings. They got DeMar DeRozan, $26 million. They got Lonzo Ball, $18 million, and they got Alex Caruso on $8 million a year. Yeah, what do you think? I honestly, I think that's a solid three. Like, oh, and they signed the center from Orlando the other year. They traded for him. I mean. What's his name? Like Vujovic or Vujovic?
Vujovic.
Something,
yeah, however you pronounce it. Yeah.
Something like that. So I feel like they have like a really solid team, and I could see them honestly getting like a 4 or 5 seed because they have a bunch of different players that I think could really complement each other. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I would say is I don't see a lot of 3-point shooting necessarily on the lineup, but just in terms of like talent, I feel like this could really be a contender in the East that could surprise people.
This DeRozan dude, this is the dude who takes like one step into the three. He takes the long ass two pointers.
Yep.
He's Mr. Mid Range.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like his style, man. I don't know how effective he is each year. I mean, how old is he? He's got to be 30s, right?
DeMar DeRozan?
Early 30s. Yeah.
He is 32 years old.
Okay. I don't know why. Maybe I haven't caught like his big games, but I feel like his style of play is like.
Well, he was playing on the Spurs. He was playing on the Spurs for the longest time, so they don't get televised and they don't play necessarily quote unquote exciting.
Yeah, and I just remember his like this thing of taking those long 2-pointers and stuff. Like, just feels like that style of gameplay is it's whack. It's whack. It's not effective. I'm just not excited about him as a player, so I don't know how much he's going to be able to carry the Bulls team. Because who's going to be the franchise players at the Bulls?
I mean,
right now it's Zach LaVine, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, Zach LaVine, yeah.
Levine, I forget, yeah.
So DeMar's coming in as the number 2.
Right. He would be the number 2.
Well, unless they make Lonzo Ball the number 2, the number 2 guy.
Yeah, but he's a point guard. I'm assuming the way the lineup's going to be is Lonzo's point, DeMar shooting, and then Zach LaVine is going to be small forward.
I mean, they picked up a lot of good players, so technically they should be interesting. But I wouldn't put them above. For me, it's still going to be
you still think
Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Miami, and then them.
Yeah, no, that's why I said about the 4th or 5th seed, maybe.
Yeah, fourth, maybe I
6.
agree with you. Fourth or 5th makes sense. Can they go further? It's hard to say. I mean, with all these new players.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think their ceiling is the second round, but I still think, like you said, they're going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think. Let's see how it goes because I like Lonzo. Feel bad for the Pelicans because I mean Zion has been left out there to dry solo, but we'll see how it goes. Like you said, they're a solid mid team.
I'm guessing you disagree with that, Phil?
No, I mean, honestly, I don't know what to expect from them just because I don't know how all these players will play together. I know how DeRozan plays. I know how Zach plays. And I know how Lonzo plays. And Lonzo's one of those dudes that you can pretty much throw on any team and he should be fine.
Yeah.
just because he's extremely unselfish and he has good, really, really good court vision, and his shot's getting better. First of all, I don't know why they let him go. Goddamn Pellet, like that's a big L. But I don't know how this is all going to work out together. It's either going to feel like a college team where you have a bunch of 6'5" to 6'8" people that could kind of do a little bit of everything. You know, pull up, drive in, you know, score for themselves. None of them are really, well, Lonzo's pretty good defensively, but none of the others are really as good. So defensively, it seemed they did get worse. So that for me, that's what hurts them more than anything. At least for me, is I feel like they got worse defensively. But then again, they could just be a straight like
offensive team.
Phoenix Suns from back in the day, where it's just all offense and they're just running up and down because now they have the people that can do that.
Right.
I really don't know what to expect from them. I have no idea.
They're a wild card. They should be interesting. All right.
Yeah.
One of the last teams, Miami Heat. So they picked up Kyle Lowry, Kyle Lowry, $26 million deal. PJ Tucker on a $7 million a year deal, and then Markieff Morris, $2.5 million. They re-signed Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Udonis Haslem. I'm surprised they did this. They re-signed Victor Oladipo. I think that could be interesting down the road. And yeah, that's the main people they got. And they obviously re-signed Jimmy Butler. So what do you think about the new squad in Miami? South Beach?
I mean, it sounds like they did like some really good business right there, because Kyle Lowry and I think PJ Tucker was, you know, pretty solid for the Bucks, like in a defensive role, if I'm not wrong.
Right.
Great, yeah.
Good utility player. So they made their team. I mean, they have a decent team. They made their team stronger.
Right. I agree.
They could surprise people. I like what they did. I like what they did. They still have to see how to work to, you know, play together, but they could be a force that could, you know, surprise a team.
All right.
I was pretty impressed with what they did.
Cool.
I again take this is the perspective of a super casual. I really don't care for that roster at all. Only because while I like the individual players, it just is just so undersized that I don't know, like, what do you do with it? Like,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's a decent
it is
point.
They're so undersized. Like, when your biggest player is Markieff and Bam, like,
Bam. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Especially when Bam comes off the court, PJ Tucker is probably gonna be your biggest player.
Yeah, and you know, Depot, he's also the type to be getting injured every year the last few years. So even if you got him for a couple mil on, it's like I really don't expect anything from that team. I just don't, just because I don't know. This also feels like a college team where everyone's like, there's a lot of people that will kind of do the same type of stuff.
Right.
And, you know, they may play well together enough to like bust out like 51 wins or something like that. But in the playoffs, I just don't see them doing shit. Like they're just too little, bro. Just looking at that roster, it just looks little.
No. I definitely see your point. I'm kind of in the middle, though. I'll be honest. I'm kind of in the middle. I do think they've made some really good pickups. Believe it or not, I do like the Victor Oladipo pickup because he used to be an all-star with the Pacers, but they got him on a low contract deal, only $2.3 million for 1 year. So low risk, high reward. And if that ends up working out, they have like an all-star caliber shooting guard. They got Kyle Lowry at point. They got PJ Tucker for defense. Jimmy Butler. They re-signed Duncan Robinson for some shooting. So they did get better. They did get better from last season. Did they get enough? Are they going to be able to beat the Brooklyn Nets? I don't know. One of my biggest concerns, like what Fahzo said, is like their height, or somebody said that their height. I don't like that they won't be able to match up with a big team like that. For instance, if they were to play the Lakers, they would have their hands full. Especially if they have Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis and LeBron on at the same time, they would have their hands full. So,
yeah. I mean, like everything I just said, you know, I guess could apply to Chicago too, because they do have a bunch of players that are in the same situation. Thing. It's just a lot of their players are like 6'7",
right,
and younger too, and younger as well. So it's like that's why I let it slide for them. And I don't know. I see Chicago as maybe this sounds stupid, but I see Chicago having more potential to do better than Miami next year. I just don't like
I
Miami
don't know.
roster.
I think Miami's the veteran version of the Chicago Bulls, kind of.
Yeah, but it's like watching Oladipo play. He's good, but he's not as good as he thinks he carries himself. And it's not in a negative way. It's just he was used to being that dude on Indiana,
Right.
but he's not that guy on a championship. He's not the 1A guy on a championship team, or he's not the A guy or the one guy, whatever you call him.
Right.
I don't know what he would be. I don't even think he's the 2 guy on a championship team. I think he's the 3, the same way DeMar DeRozan is the number 3 guy on a legit championship team.
Right.
And so, like, I remember him coming into the game, watching, when he was on the Rockets or whatever, and he would immediately start just taking it, like doing ISOs and like, running the court as if it was his team. So like, I don't know. I just, that roster, that group of people put together, I don't know. But I do like Duncan Robinson. I've always liked him last couple of years, and I hope he goes to a team, a championship team. Like, oh shit, dude.
I mean, shooting is always needed. Shooting is always at a premium.
He is cold, dude.
Wait, who's a better shooter, Duncan Robinson or the other guy, Tyler Hero or something?
Duncan Robinson. But sure, it's not even close. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Duncan Robinson is that dude. Like, if he was on Golden State, or if he was on if he was on Lakers, if he was on any team that can give him some looks, the dude that, like, he'd be a household name of being just one of the best shooters. I mean, he's already kind of known as one of the best shooters in the NBA, but
I will say that's a good point, because every single time I've watched Miami games, he's never been past the ball open. He's always having to shoot with people drenched all over him, and he still makes a fair amount. So,
dude, he is a cold shooter, man.
Yeah. So like, we're not going to be doing, like, for these last 2 teams, it's really just going to be like quick because they didn't make too many moves. It's kind of the opposite. So the Portland Trailblazers, they got the new coach. What's his name? The Detroit Pistons point guard, Chauncey Billups. They got Chauncey Billups as their coach now. But in terms of players and roster changes, they haven't really done much. If anything, I would argue they got worse, because they lost Zach. I mean, Zach Collins is always injured, so it doesn't matter. But they lost Enes Kanter and they lost Carmelo Anthony. Now, by no means were these guys like carrying the team, the second unit or anything, but they were solid players that gave decent contributions. So now I'm just like, if you're Damian Lillard, you want to stay loyal to the team, but they really giving you absolutely nothing to work with. You see all these other teams getting like better players and stuff like that, and Damian over here just kind of sitting with getting worse, really. So
nothing.
So do you think he's gonna stay? After seeing like no improvements made and them getting worse?
Who takes him, or how do you work his contract, or like I don't know how that works. I honestly thought he was gone this offseason, but he's still there. So
I think he wanted to give at least 1 year a chance with Chauncey Billups and see how that goes. But again, all the other teams in the West got better. A lot of the teams in the East got better. If you got worse and you didn't make it last year, and most of the team was healthy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like, I don't know. I feel like at times when owners realize that players want to be loyal to a franchise, like LeBron was when he started his career at Cleveland, they just don't feel pressure to do anything, because it's like, oh, we're already winning enough games. We're getting into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go over the luxury tax. Like, I don't know. I feel like if Dame doesn't start having a sense of urgency, like kind of forcing the team's hand, then he'll just be, you know what I'm saying? He's going to end up 33, 34, no rings, not any finals appearances. So
I got the feeling he was waiting for the right offer. Maybe did the Lakers ever like come at him?
The Lakers were interested, and they tried to talk to Portland about something they could work out, but Portland completely rejected it 100%.
From what I've seen, for the current team he's on to get far in the playoffs, he's gonna have to just score 50 a game.
Yeah, but that's not
minimum.
But that's not sustainable. That's fun to watch, but it's not sustainable.
Yeah, so I think he's there for this season, but he's gonna be checking his options. He's probably gonna give him 1 more year to either guarantee that he's gonna get somebody serious, some more help, or he's gonna wait. We're gonna wait for the right offer to
but I think he's stuck.
Staying doesn't make sense.
No, but what I'm saying is I think he's stuck in this in-between zone, because he's always been vocal about, I don't want to join a super team. I want to beat the super team. But if everybody around you has a super team. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of tough to say that you want to beat them without getting any help. I'm not even talking about another superstar. I'm talking about like solid role players. They can't even get that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like he's in this. He's stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and he's just not moving at this point.
Hey, I mean, Giannis isn't on a super team, man. So
Yeah,
he did it.
yeah,
So
but everybody is injured this year. Relax.
No,
relax,
yeah,
relax.
you got to put an asterisk. You got to put in, yeah.
I don't.
he still did it. So another year like this could still come. I mean,
Oh,
anything's possible.
no.
This is a
Portland
freakish
just
year,
needs-
bro. This was a super freakish year,
bro.
Super freakish year.
I could go through the list of injuries that happened this year, and it'd be insane. Like LeBron was hurt, AD was hurt, James Harden was hurt, Kyrie Irving was hurt, Jamal Murray was hurt. That there were just like so many. Joel Embiid was hurt. There were so many players that were out. Klay Thompson was hurt. So many players that out did for health reasons that it just like on both sides. No conference, I don't think, had the right team leaving if everybody was healthy. Now injuries are part of the thing, but because of COVID restrictions and everything like that, and they had to like speed up the season. There's no way this many high level players are going to get injured at this rate in one season.
I've never seen it. Like, I've been watching hoops since '91, dude. I've never seen a season where this many superstars and all-stars were out or missed significant time.
Yeah,
like it's never happened. Nothing even this close. Nothing.
Right. So,
fair enough.
I just think it's out of left field. I don't know. I just want to see because I don't know. Damian Lillard's gonna be stuck there, and they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So
what a waste, dude. What a waste.
I know. Imagine seeing him drop 50 next to like another all-star who could at least give him guaranteed 20 and 30. So you would know they'd be in every single game. They have a puncher's chance.
So depressing, man.
But to end it off on a funny note, the Philadelphia 76ers. They re-signed Joel Embiid for $31 million, $196 million for 4 years. Danny Green, $10 million for 2 years, and then
Danny Green. Oh my God!
I forgot he was still playing, bro.
He has to be the oldest player in the league right now.
Nah. He's like
apart from Udonis, right?
Hold on. Danny Green is 34 years old. Yeah, he's getting up there, but he's not the oldest.
No, not even close. Yeah, not even close. Yeah.
But they re-signed Joel Embiid and Danny Green, and they added players like Andre Drummond, which is kind of funny because they had a beef before. They added some of these other players, but I don't know. They're not, no one knows them. And then they lost to George Hill and Dwight Howard. But I say all of that to ignore everything I just said, and I just want to talk about Ben Simmons for a little bit to end it off. Ben Simmons. So like. Everybody knows like the shot he took where he like he was right underneath the rim. He's like 6'9", whatever, 220, whatever, can just straight up jump and dunk. And he passed it when he was right underneath the rim. And everybody like kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's the moment the game changed. So, he went AWOL. He hasn't been talking to the team. He wants to be traded. So, yeah. Do you guys think he'll get traded? Do you think he's going to actually improve his free throws and his shooting? Do you think he's going to stay with the Sixers? Because I think that he's going to try to hold. I think he's going to try to hold out as long as possible, and then they're not going to end up trading him. You go ahead.
I'm just if I'm the 76ers, I'm trying to get rid of him ASAP. But who in their right mind is going to pick him up?
But it's not even that. It's that the owner, who is the former Houston's owner, is trying to get so much, like. As if they were going to trade Joel Embiid and somebody else. Like, he's asking for way too much. And I know that's like a negotiation tactic, but like, man can't shoot free throws, can't shoot threes, is good defensively, can pass, but you're paying like essentially a max contract to someone who doesn't do a max level thing. So
let's see. Let's check these numbers out, bro.
And every summer you see him in the gym shooting threes. Nothing but net, you know what I'm saying, shooting free throws. But then when it comes to the season, he doesn't even attempt them.
So he's a 14-7-7 player making $35 million a year.
14-7.
No.
35. See, that's near max level.
14-7-7. Or sorry, 15. Well, I guess 15 if you take over his entire career, because he 15.8, 16.9, 16.4, and then last season 14.3.
Right.
Don't forget
So,
about his defensive prowess. When people see him on the court, they change their shot.
bro, I want to put a cap on that too, man. Like, he's good defensively, but people talk like this man is like Pippen in his prime type stuff, or like, you know what I mean? Like, they're talking like, when Kobe was in his prime or whatever, or Jordan, like, you're talking about when they want to lock you up, they'll lock you up. That's the way they talk about this dude, and he's not that guy.
You're not
So
that
he's a good defensive player, but he's not that lockup guy.
right.
But damn, bro, 30 cap hit, dead cap. Let's see. Oh, geez, man. 30. Let's see, yearly cash. Yearly cash. No, last year it was 30, sorry. Yeah, 30,559,200. This year, the 21-22 season, it'll be 33 million. Net following season 35, following season 37, and then 24-25 season 40 million.
Yeah, see, no one's trying to get stuck with that.
Dude, that hurts. Oof. Bro, doesn't Lonzo Ball put up similar stats?
That's exactly what I was thinking. They're kind of similar players. The only thing is Lonzo's a little shorter and maybe not as good on defense, but all the other stuff that he brings you, he can shoot threes he can shoot free throws. Like and you pay less for him. Like I would honestly rather have Lonzo on my team.
Bro, Lonzo Ball stats last season, 14.6, 5 rebounds and 5.7 assists, and shooting 37.8 from 3 and 78 from the free throw. So, and that's improving. So, yeah. Let's see, year before. Yeah, he's improved, man, every year. So, a 3-point shooter, he came in at 30%, then 33%, 37%. And yeah, now shooting 30. He's been shooting 37% the last 2 years, up from 30% when he first got here. So, motherfucker's been improving.
Yeah.
As well as his point averages. Yeah. Yeah, so he's essentially putting out Lonzo Ball numbers without the salary. God damn.
It's something. Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why it's going to be so hard to. Even if someone were to trade for him, they probably wouldn't want him playing point guard. Most teams already have a point guard, meaning you're going to have to play him at power forward, which is something more typical for his height, anyways. But he doesn't necessarily have post moves, and again, he's not a stretch forward by any means. In late game situations, you're gonna have to take him out because the free throws are a liability. And actually, I just want to say this real quick. When Jimmy Butler was still in the Philadelphia 76ers, I remember watching a highlight of him trying to walk up the court and take a last-second shot. Or no, Ben Simmons had the ball and he was walking up the court and he handed it off to Jimmy Butler. But because both players knew Ben Simmons was not gonna either shoot it or B, make it, they just double teamed Jimmy Butler immediately, and he couldn't, he didn't hit rim, like, because there was people draped all over him. So late game, you can't use him. I honestly, I don't know how they, 35 million, bro. Like, I don't know. I think they're stuck.
How did he get that contract?
Because there was a stint where he was posting up triple doubles.
Really?
Yeah, he was posting up triple doubles, but again, doesn't say anything about his 3-point and free throw shooting percentage. And in the NBA today, that's so damn important.
Bro, how does man shoot 61% from free throws?
I thought it was lower than that.
Bro, it's 61%?
I think
last year, 2021 season.
No, but in the playoffs, it's even lower. It's like 30% in the playoffs. So.
Bro, that's no excuse, man. You know my stance on free throws, bro.
Oh, I know.
With the exception, I give some big men the excuse. But, bro, if you make it to the pros, 75% is your minimum, bro. And if you're a guard, 80% is minimum. 80% is minimum.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bro, come on, man.
But see, is he really a guard? I know he plays like he is, but he's really a power forward.
He plays like he's a guard, bro. He plays like he's a guard. So if you're going to act like a guard,
held to guard standards.
Dude.
That's crazy.
61%. Come on, bro. Dude, come on, man. You mean I could outshoot him?
Feels like let's go to a gym right now, shoot 10 free throws.
I bet you right now, like a cold. Actually, give me 20 warm-up shots. I'm going to make at least 7 out of 10.
Okay, well, that's more than him, so. All right,
Clippers are stuck with him, man. They need to just take him to the gym and do the best that they can with him because no one's going to pick him up.
No one's picking up that contract. 35 average for the next 4 years.
Wait. Real quick, what happens though? Because let's go worst case scenario real quick to finish it off. He doesn't want to report to training camp. And what happens in football is because your salary is not guaranteed, you don't mind sitting out because you save hits off your body and all this different type of stuff. And then they eventually like work on a deal or something. But in the NBA, because the contract's already guaranteed, if he just doesn't come back, you know what I'm saying? Like I've never seen a situation play out like this, but I think it could where he just doesn't come. He doesn't play in games until he's traded.
Yeah.
Well, my problem is I could see a player doing that if a player is like in his prime and he's playing well, but you're just hurting yourself even more.
True, like, that's a good point.
Right now, your resume is like
lacking,
looking horrible right now.
Right.
You need to be in the gym, man, hitting those threes like you said, hitting those free throws. And then make your first week amazing. Your first 5 games of the league need to be amazing before you decide to not show up.
Actually, that's a good point. I think players, and I think James Harden tried to do this, but I think they need to have the opposite approach. Instead of holding out and not playing, do the opposite. Come to training camp, have a great training camp, play your ass off like the first, like whatever, 5 to 10 games, and then be like, trade me. Because at that point, your stock is high. People want to, upgrade their teams and shit like that. So I agree with that. That's what he should be doing.
But that's what Harden did though. Like he had the whole thing of not coming into camp, and then he also came in overweight. But remember the first couple games he had,
like 40.
They were either high total or high triple double totals.
Yeah.
It was he put up crazy numbers, and people were like, "Oh shit, he's still hooping."
I remember we were talking about this. You were saying something about like Charles Barkley was making fun of him because he looks like a donut or some shit like that. And then you were like, "Hey man, that donut's still putting up 40." So,
dude, that man is a freak of nature. Like his game is not based on athleticism
at all. At all.
That man could play like this until he's like 40. Like he's not fast. He just knows how to angle right and has a great shot.
And last thing about the NBA. We have to end on this. The NBA ruled that they're going to stop calling those fouls that you guys hate so much where you jump into the opponent when they're just trying to contest your shot and then you get free throws from that. They're going to get rid of that. And there's a lot of different variations that we can't get into right now just because I don't have the website pulled up exactly what they were saying. But I'm guessing you guys are happy about that?
No.
Wait, what?
Because my thing is I would like to penalize them money.
Oh my God!
Fuck a call, bro.
Stop,
Fuck a call, bro. I'm sorry, man. In the same way with hard flagrants, I'm not talking about the incidental flagrants, but like the flagrants where there's no basketball play being made.
Right.
Yo, you find these people, bro. I'm talking hundreds of thousands. I mean.
Man,
I'm real fines, bro.
I'm guessing the players are happy that you aren't their commissioner.
Don't let me be commissioner, man. I'm a fair king, though. I would be a fair king, bro.
All right, man. Fahzo?
Yeah, no, I don't know about finding them, but definitely I'm happy about the rule, man. It's especially, some of these players take it too far, like homeboy on the Atlanta Hawks and
Trae Young,
of course,
James Harden.
Of course, Harden and a couple other dudes. But it's just ugly to watch, man. Especially when they keep repeating it over and over again. It's just, come on.
Yeah.
So I think it's good for the game if they can, figure out how to, do it right. I think it's a step in the right direction, man. Make the game more fair.